What's up, guys? It's Justin Mack, and I'm back with another banger video for you. We're going to go over UFC 298, starting with the main event, ending with the early prelims. I'm going to give you my predictions and how I think it's going to go down. We're going to start with it. Alexander Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria. All right. 14-0 versus 28-3. Alexander Volkanovski coming off of a head kick knockout from Islam Makhachev back in October 29th or 27th, one of those. Back in the end of October, Volkanovski got severely knocked out. I mean, he wasn't, just out cold on the canvas for a while, but he got put out and probably woken back up by a few shots, and then put back to sleep and woken back up by Islam Makhachev in the sense of he got head kick knocked out, and then his chin was bouncing off Islam's knee while he was hammer fisting him on the top of the head, just like going back and forth, and it was crazy. But I think that's something to think about when coming into this fight with Ilia Topuria, because Topuria is a powerhouse. If someone's gonna put Alexander Volkanovski out, I think it's Ilia Topuria to get the job done. Topuria is just he's got a lot going on in Spain. He's such a big name out there, and if he, especially after all the hype from this week has been going down, he's recreating the Conor McGregor moments. He's taking the belt. He's he's calling his shots. He's acting like the champion before he's the champion, right? And how this fight's gonna go down, it could go one or two ways for me. Ilia Topuria could get the job done nice and early. Knockout, probably a big left or right hand. It could be anything. But Ilia's got some major power in his hands. He's got some good boxing, and he's probably going to just either get exposed by leg kicks from Alexander Volkanovski, just kicking him in the calf, or Ilia's going to land that one on him, and it's going to be hard for Volkanovski to probably take it, especially after coming off so soon off of a knockout loss against Islam Makhachev. So there's a lot of things to look at in this fight. I think it's going to be a very risky one if you're betting, just because we don't know too much. We don't know if, we've seen people come off of knockouts and come back and win fights and look good. Alex Pereira got knocked out flat, worse than Volkanovski did. Obviously he was out cold on the canvas sleeping. So there's just a little bit difference there, but a knockout is a knockout, and you're taking damage to your brain. But we have seen people come back and look good. So Volkanovski could go out there and just, it wouldn't surprise me if he just went out there and completely, just kind of kept Ilia Topuria at bay for 5 rounds and won a decision. Now, I think if Alexander Volkanovski is going to win a decision in this fight, then he's got to be very dominant and he's got to really make an impact and impress the judges to the point where they cannot even try to give it to Ilia Topuria over some weird split decision shit. But if it is anywhere if it's anything close to a close fight between these two, and it goes the distance, like I think it has a big potential to go. If it's a close fight, I feel like the judges are going to give it to Ilia Topuria. Now, that's a big claim, right? But I feel like there are people that they would want to win, But either way, we start to get into some, tinfoil hat shit. Either way, now, but either way, my official prediction for this is Ilia Topuria. I think he's going to get the job done either by early knockout in the first or second round, or I think he could win a split decision by the judges. And it's crazy to think, he could win a unanimous decision, but I just don't think unless Alexander Volkanovski is just teeing off and making it a point to not give Ilya room to implement his game plan. If he makes it a close fight, I don't think it's going to go his way this time, like it was in like the first or second or whatever Max Holloway fights. I just don't think it would look like that. They're completely different body styles, like Ilya Topuria and Max Holloway, and Ilya Topuria probably has the power difference there. Ilya has knocked out Jai Herbert. He got hurt in that fight, but he's still out here knocking out lightweights as well. So we're going to go Ilya Topuria either by knockout or decision. Moving down the card, we got Robert Whittaker and Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa finally making it to the dance, and he made weight too. Fucking crazy, right? Like, dude actually made weight. So that's something to look forward to. I'm excited to see that fight. I feel like the main and co-main is really hard to bet on, to be honest with you. But I would have to choose Robert Whittaker because we haven't seen anything from Paulo Costa as far as like what he looks like against that is still considered the best of the best. What was his last fight, Luke Rockhold, and he was still getting touched up in that fight. He was still getting hurt, and he wasn't dominant at all. Dude couldn't make weight, and that was at 205. So that was made to be at 205. But either way, dude just hasn't been in the cage. It's been about 2 years since he's last fought, at least. So like, I can't pick Paulo Costa, with confidently to win against a beast like Robert Whittaker. And then you say, oh, but you just said Alexander Volkanovski coming out off a knockout loss. Yeah, Robert Whittaker is coming off of a loss too. Knocked out by Dricus du Plessis. But I just think it's a completely different animal that we're dealing with here. The skill is the skill level between Ilya Topuria and Paulo Costa is completely different. But Paulo Costa, I can't see him with his T-Rex arms doing anything to Robert Whittaker, just being long, keeping his distance. And I could see him picking apart Paulo Costa very easily in this fight. And Robert Whittaker just fucking making drawing his line in the sand, telling him that I ain't fucking leaving. You know what I mean? I think Robert Whittaker is here to stay, and I think we're going to see him get the dub either by a TKO. Well, let me give you my official. I don't want to just say TKO or decision the whole time, but is a 3-round fight, and it could easily go to a decision, especially the way Robert Whittaker fights. But I'm thinking that Robert Whittaker is hungry again, especially after a knockout loss like that. I feel like he's out here to prove something, and I don't think he's going to be hesitant and overly aware of Paulo Costa. I feel like he's still going to try to put his best foot out there. I feel like he's the type of guy that he's still going to throw it on the line and try to do what he's going to do. I think Robert Whittaker is going to tag up Paulo Costa real early in the fight. And I know Robert Whittaker isn't known to have, this crazy knockout power or nothing like that. But if we don't see something ridiculously different from Paulo Costa, I could definitely see Robert Whittaker just head kicking him, hurting him, finishing him off with punches and like the end of the second round type stuff. So we're going to go Robert Whittaker by TKO in the second round. Moving down the card, we got Ian Garry, Jeff Neal. Woo-wee. What about the freaking controversy behind this fight? And then in the press conference, Ian Garry's like, will you shake my hand? And he's fucking damn near crying because the fucking crowd's booing him and shit. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? Ian Garry, what was all this shit talk? Did you go through your wife? Did you ask your wife if you could, ask this man to shake his hand? Like, are you supposed to be going through all this shtick stuff, making t-shirts of Jeff Neal with his mugshot on it and whatnot? You're supposed to be doing all this crazy shit causing controversy. You get booed one time and you're fucking trying to be the nice guy all of a sudden, like you ain't do all that shit. Jeff Neal's still gonna come out here and try and knock your fucking block off. I was going with Ian Garry this whole time. That was going to be my official prediction. Good thing I didn't get it out earlier this week, but I'm going Jeff Neal. I think Ian Garry is unhinged. I feel like he's got a lot going on at home. I do think he does. But yeah, I don't think his mindset is in the right place to deal with the powerhouse like Jeff Neal. And Jeff Neal, if you don't remember, Jeff Neal fought Shavkat Rakhmonov, and he looked damn good. He was giving Shavkat his money's worth in that fight. Yeah, he lost. He lost the fight. I'm not saying he won. I'm saying he did good against who I think could be potentially the best in the division in Shavkat Rakhmonov. But Jeff Neal in this fight, listen, Ian Garry's, if I don't think his mindset is where it's at, like this game is, like every fighter's said it. You've heard them say it. This game is 99% mental. It's 90% mental. Whatever the fuck they said. It's in the 90th percentile of mentality when it comes to fighting. It's not all physical capabilities and all this shit. Ian Garry's a good fighter. I was picking him throughout this whole thing. I think he's got the technique. I think he's got the skill to be able to beat Jeff Neal. You know, I feel like he could do what he did to Neil Magny, to Jeff Neal. Similarly, he's got to worry about a lot more power coming in his way. But that distance management, I feel like he could work the same thing. Now, this all depends on how he deals with the fight under the pressure. Is he going to come in and not show this emotional side, almost crying, asking the man for a handshake? And is he going to show the same type of thing in the cage, or is that where he's going to find himself most comfortable, like most fighters? You know, is he going to come to himself and just be the fighter and just flow? Or is he going to hear this crazy crowd from the press conference just fucking chanting for him to get knocked the fuck out, booing him every time he does something? It seems to me like he's going to let the crowd get to him. He might fight really emotionally. I could see him fighting emotionally, and I think Jeff Neal is going to find that power shot and take his O. And that's the official prediction. We're going Jeff Neal, baby. We're going Jeff Neal. We got to. Moving down the card, we got another banger for you guys. Henry Triple C Cejudo versus Merab Dvalishvili. Okay? And, you know, this is the battle of the Olympians right here. You know, Merab was an Olympic wrestler. I don't think in the U.S. or whatever, but he was an Olympic wrestler. Henry Cejudo, Olympic gold medalist. But this ain't wrestling. This is fighting. And Merab Dvalishvili does really good with his pace. And he's got the record for most takedowns. And the problem I have with Merab is, and I feel like the problem a lot of people have with Merab, is that he's not finishing these fights. He's looking really dominant. Like he could do anything to these guys if he wanted to. Maybe with a little bit more jiu-jitsu. You know, like the wrestling's on point, right? The wrestling is on point. But like, can we get some more ground and pound? Like, can we get some more jiu-jitsu? I feel like we're all having these thoughts, right? I still think he can beat Henry Cejudo in a 3-round fight. I hear Henry Cejudo talking a lot about what he did in his Demetrius Johnson fight in their second fight for him to win the 125-pound title. And I hear him talking about, like, I wanted to make sure, you know, I'm like making sounds and, you know, exaggerating, you know, his actions to show the judges that he's the one initiating the engagements and whatnot between him and DJ. And just for someone to be thinking like that, like, oh yeah, like I'm almost betting on a decision for myself because I know I can't get this guy out of here type shit. So I feel like they got the same issue. I feel like Merab and Henry Cejudo got the same fucking issue. They're meant for each other. This is going to decision for sure. If you got the over 2.5, fucking cash that shit out right now. Okay? Because ain't nobody finishing shit in this fight. We're going to see some wild shit. Now, there's another thing to say, but what do you mean? Because there's two wrestlers going at it. Usually when two good grappling guys come together, you know, we'll see some crazy, weird amateur stand-up battle. And that wasn't the case with Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain was still kind of getting him down and doing his work and whatnot, trying to do what he does. If Aljamain Sterling can get Henry Cejudo down, guess who else can get Henry Cejudo down? Merab Dvalishvili, his best friend. You know, they consider each other family. They won't even contest against each other for the belt. They're down like that. They train together, and they're mostly training wrestling. Let's be honest, they're mostly training wrestling. So like, I feel like Merab Dvalishvili's wrestling is better than Aljamain Sterling's. Now I know we're starting to get into MMA math here, but that just is what it is. We're going Merab Dvalishvili by decision, guys. I think that's pretty evident what I'm going for now. But moving down the card, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. Don't count out my boy Fluffy, man. But count out my boy Fluffy because I think Kopylov is a weird underdog here. Like, why is he an underdog? You know what I mean? I feel like almost everyone agrees that he should be able to get the job done. But this is another one of those close contested fights. But either way, Roman Kopylov is a dog, and I feel like he's gonna be fucking. I think he's gonna be putting it on Anthony Hernandez. Pretty early on in the fight. I feel like within the first 30 seconds of this fight, we'll know pretty much how it's going to go down. I don't think there's going to be any late surprises. Oh no, he's coming back. You know, I don't think we're going to be going through that. I think Kopylov is going to be dominant. Of course, there's a chance. There's a puncher's chance there. But I feel like Kopylov is being counted out here. And I see him getting, you know, he could get a TKO, but I for some reason I see them getting in the scrambles and Anthony Hernandez making a mistake and Roman Kopylov sinking in a rear naked choke of some sort, some type of submission. So I'm going Roman Kopylov with a submission inside the distance somewhere. So to get it done inside the distance is my official prediction for Roman Kopylov and Anthony Hernandez. I got Kopylov winning inside the distance. So now we get into the prelims. Now I kind of like talk pretty long for all that. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to go through the rest of my picks. I'm just going to go down the card real nice and fast. Like we're at the top of the prelims, we got Amanda Lemos versus Mackenzie Dern. I was going to go Mackenzie Dern, but I just don't like her striking at all. I don't feel like her striking is where it needs to be at for the level that she's fighting at. If it goes to the ground, it's over. But is it though? Amanda Lemos has good jiu-jitsu as well. But I feel like Dern just overly trains the jiu-jitsu to where it's a problem because she doesn't have the striking to back it up or the wrestling to get it there. So I feel like Amanda Lemos is the more well-rounded fighter here. And it's women's MMA. It's a coin flip either way. So we're going to have to go with Amanda Lemos here to get it done by decision. I mean, she can even get a TKO. You never know. But safe side, probably decision. Who knows? I'm going Lemos, decision. Marcos Rogerio de Lima versus Junior Tafa. Okay, breaking news. Justin Tafa not pulled out, but he had complications to where he couldn't fight. So the fight was about to be canceled altogether. So now, so I feel like a lot of people could be fooled here just by seeing the last name because his brother stepped in for him, right? To fill in for Marcos Rogerio de Lima. He needed a fight. Dude just pulled out. Well, fuck, dude. Who am I going to fight? Junior Tafa on 1 day's notice for some shit. You know what I mean? Junior Tafa on 2 days' notice. Yeah, they're heavyweights. They don't have to cut no weight, basically. But you don't know that. Justin Tafa was a big boy, and I had him winning against Marcos Rogerio de Lima. I do not feel the same way about Junior Tafa that I do about his brother Justin Tafa. I don't think they're at the same skill level as much as, you know, the commentary team with Laura Senko and Michael Bisping like to say. Junior Tafa and Justin Tafa, they fight the exact same way. You're getting the same fight here. No, we're not. We're not getting the same fight here, guys. Marcos Rogerio de Lima might be able to turn back the clock at being 37 years old or whatever he is, 38. Shit. And he might be able to turn back the clock here and get a win over Justin Tafa's brother, Junior Tafa, coming in at 5-1. Marcos Rogerio de Lima 21-10. But yeah, especially on late notice, I can't do that. Marcos Rogerio de Lima all day. Sorry, Tafa gang, but this ain't the same Tafa. Moving down the card, we got Rinya Nakamura versus Carlos Vera. In this fight, I got Rinya Nakamura. He's undefeated. Dude looks like a stud. I think he's going to get it done. It's at bantamweight. Could go to decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if we seen a TKO. Then we go into the early prelims. Zane Minyan versus Brenson Ribeiro. Zane Minyan. Everyone that's making videos about this card is having an aneurysm trying to pronounce this fight's name. Zane Minyan versus Brenson Ribeiro. Okay, 16-6 versus 15-5. My official prediction for this one, I got Ribeiro winning. I got Brenson Ribeiro winning in this. I was going back and forth with this fight, but in the end, I'm going with Brenson Ribeiro to get it done. By KO. This is by knockout. This is 205. These are big boys. Okay, he's gonna get it done by knockout. Moving down the card, we got Josh Quinlan versus Danny Barlow. Yeah, same thing. I got 7-0. Danny Barlow. I got him winning against Josh Quinlan. I know Quinlan, looks like a stud sometimes in his earlier fights, but he was taking steroids. I just got to put that out there. Could be on it now. Could be back on it with USADA gone, but we're not going to bet on none of that. We're just going to see how he looked his last fight or two and base it off that. I feel like Danny Barlow is going to be victorious at 170 pounds and a 7-inch reach advantage. So dude's in his prime. It's going to look good. I think Danny Barlow is going to get it done. Moving down the card, we got Oban Elliott versus Val Woodburn. Okay, I see a lot of people going Oban Elliott, but they're counting out our boy Val Woodburn. Okay, I know. Man, I know Oban Elliott's got his thing going, and to be honest, I wanted to pick him just based off seeing his interview with Ariel Helwani and the whole wholesome moment with seeing the Chael Sonnen video, him talking about, because he's like, Chael Sonnen is the Westland gangster, and then you got Oban Elliott as the Welsh gangster. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit going on there. I feel like just based off of the, I don't know what to call it, the good positivity, like the positivity, like the like all those wholesome moments, like leading up to this fight. Like, dude looks like his mind's in the right place, you know. And I was just talking about at the beginning of this video, like it's 90% mental in this game. And am I going Val Woodburn? I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. We're going Oban Elliott. We're going Oban Elliott. I was gonna go Val Woodburn, but to be honest with you, there ain't gonna be too much breakdown of this fight because I'm picking this just based off of where I feel like Oban Elliott's mentality is at. You know, I mean, the dude's a good fighter. No, dude's a good fighter. We're still there's. This was a pick'em fight for me. This was a pick'em fight for me. A lot of people are just counting Val Woodburn out. I don't think it's going to be all that easy for Guy. But dude just seems like, if you watch his interview with Ariel Helwani, dude just seems like he's just in the right mindset to just go and get shit done and be done with it. So we're going Oban Elliott to get it done. The Welsh gangster, and it's gonna be fun. Then we got the last fight of the card: Andrea Lee, Miranda Maverick. Another coin flip of a fight, but we're going Miranda Maverick to get it done by decision. And that's it, folks. Hope you like the predictions. Smash that like button for your boy. Really helps the algorithm push that shit out for me. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't. If you're new here, don't be afraid. Hit the notification bell, and your boy will be back here with another video soon here. Live streams almost every other day. Hang out, chill with your boy. We're watching fights. Let's go. One more sleep. UFC 298. Let's fucking go. Have a good one, y'all.